what is it that the Chinese what's that highway system called? The Silk Road or whatever. It's not like it really matters because we live in the digital age, but bro.
All right, so I want to interrupt you just to tell the numbers that it just come up with. And AI says the final vote count for yes would be 57 and no would be 43. So it still fails because it needs a 2/3 majority. So it needs 67. There's 10 votes that would be in play, this says here. That's how close this measure would be.
Which measure, sorry?
The United States joining the United Kingdom Commonwealth, we're seeing how this doomsday scenario plays out if Donald Trump does present this treason.
Would be terrible.
It would be treason. It would be treason upon the Republic and the United States as it stands.
Like, there's obviously the Republic movement as well within the UK has never been like stronger. So I don't know whether he being Charles thinks he's gonna just like make a new I don't know, like he's gonna sidestep me like I know part of America and now my peasantry. I don't know what it's but
yeah, we're supposed to now be subjects to the king. It's just insane. I can't believe that Donald Trump's
also from experience. We're not right.
Yeah, we definitely know. There's a reason you revolted.
Oh yeah, shit. Sorry, my bad.
We remember.
Sorry, I'm also smoking. I forgot that, but yeah.
Oh yeah, me too. No, I ran it through ChatGPT. I told ChatGPT to run a mock vote of the current senators, and I entered in some of their information, and it came up with 57 to 43. So it thinks that 57 currently, would say yes. So that means that there's only at least 10 that they would need. That's a margin of error that I don't like that ChatGPT was able to come up with, that Donald Trump might be able to fill with a certain amount of Republican members. That was with minimal Republican support. He got 57. And this mock vote. So with a little bit more Republican support, maybe some Democrat crossover, the threshold of getting to 67 for this UK joining, I mean, it just sounds like a doomsday scenario. We're wondering if this is the rug pull that Donald Trump has been trying to do the entire time to reunite what I would call the Germanic tribal royal class again.
I mean, he wants to be king, right? Like,
yes, I do think that might be what it is. How do you become king or governor of America? You ask King Charles if he's in charge.
Yeah, but are there any other? There's no other kingdoms inside the Commonwealth. The other biggest kingdoms is the Saudis. I mean, their kingdom is like unmatched in terms of wealth. The king of Saudi Arabia is worth like 15 trillion or something. So you're talking about huge numbers of differentials where it's like Warren Buffett and Bill Gates, let's say you're worth 200 billion, 400 billion, 800 billion. Like that's nothing like compared to like a king. So, I mean, you could say that, see, this all depends on King Charles's delusions of grandeur and like how far will the king go? That's why you should watch this movie called The Madness of King George.
Or even his sons. And somebody like earlier was saying that these kings mean nothing. That it's all symbolic, blah blah blah. I'm like, if it was symbolic, if they mean nothing, then they would not have them. They wouldn't exist. There'd be no point. That's like a gypsy on the side of the street calling herself a princess, and that means nothing because there is no actual point to it. There's nobody who recognizes it. These people are very real. Their power very real, and their plot from the very beginning. Right, like people forget, like Windsor. The House of Windsor. I had to explain it earlier. That's not the House of Windsor. That is, I forget the name, but it's 3 of the Germanic tribes. That's her actual last name. That's what that represents. Is the unity of the German empires or the Germanic tribal empires.
Do you know how much more, like, the increase in money we would get tourism-wise if we actually opened up all these houses and instead of just, it's ridiculous. The whole thing is so ridiculous.
I don't know. They got
their goals do not align with the people. Their goals align with their royal agenda and their survival. That's like, have you watched this show on Queen Elizabeth? Most people watch it and they're like, "Oh, it's so great, the princesses and the queen." I heard the message that they were putting in there. And in the show, they explained it.
Sorry.
Yes, well, they slipped in some stuff they weren't supposed to into their propaganda. One of it being, we have to do the